guys, welcome to another episode of Banter over Brunch. My name is Alexia Musau.
My name is Kanji.
And this episode was all about reviewing the first half of the year and a bit of what we're looking forward to in the second half of the year.
Exactly. I think this is a bit more personal than what we have been doing the past couple of episodes, but that's fine. Just needed a bit of banter. It's about mixing it to my content. So now you can just get to know or learn a thing or two from our experiences the first half of the year and then what we're looking forward to. We talked a little bit of forming healthier habits, where we fell off and where we need to pick ourselves back up. So very interesting, wholesome conversation we're having.
Yes, and we want to involve you in the conversation. So please make sure wherever you're listening to let us know what are some of the highlights of your first half of the year. What are you looking forward to in the second half of the year? What are you doing differently? What are you ongezaing steam into?
And we see the YouTube comments, guys. Thank you so much for those of you who have been leaving us comments or DMs or responding to our Instagram stories that we give you prompts. I love the support that you guys are giving us. Keep supporting us. That's all we need from you, really, is just for you to re-engage with our content. So that would be great.
Yes. Without further ado, I think we can let you guys enjoy the episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Ciao.
See you.
Hi guys, welcome back to Banter over Brunch.
Welcome back to another episode.
Yebo. This is episode. I need to stop saying yebo, hybo.
You are watching Real Housewives now. She's feeling
South African. It's too much. But anyway, bear with me. Don't cringe because I know it's very cringe. Even my people on Twitter, Kenyans, and someone had even brought that up, but Kenyans and South African phrases.
That's how you know their language is
it's very
crossing
catchy.
The borders, barriers.
Anyway, guys, welcome to this episode. I hope everyone's doing great. And
today we're doing something that we love to do every other time when we're feeling like we're in the beginning of something, a new season, and we feel like we need to do a recap of how the first half of the year has gone, because it's been quite something. I can't believe we are in month 6, somehow 7.
Yeah, by the time this is out, it's actually July. Yes.
So a lot has happened by the time it's July. I feel like the days have moved so fast.
Just the other time, it was Happy New Year. It was, guys.
Life's just before I know it, I'm a year older.
Very nice, your grandma.
Guy, I'm like close to 30 if you think about it.
Yeah, facts.
That's crazy. Like, I'm not ready. Like, I'm deep in adulting. Sometimes when you're close to 19, you're like, okay, I still have, but I feel
I'm still children.
I'm deep now. I'm dipping deep.
Yeah, it's getting real, guys. The trial
period is ending.
I recently went to my former school's 80th anniversary, and that's when I realized I'm old. Because even I was talking to other people, they tell me they are class of situation. I'm like, hey, your children. I'm like...
Class of 20.
You guys
is no longer looking like it's just the other day.
I'm like, just... What?
In fact, you start even thinking that, oh my gosh, people are even going to uni, finished. They're 2 years into their job. Hey!
Because every time I see someone who was younger than me, now they are actually drinking alcohol.
I swear, whenever I see people younger than me, like going to clubs, having fun, and I'm like...
You do that, I feel like a big sister. I'm really like, the world is teaching me.
And the way I was being such a menace during my years, I've just been I feel like songs unlock. Okay, now that before we get into it, songs unlock so much memories.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my childhood, it's like I forgot about it. Like, I don't know, I've been maybe between like 9. I've been looking, if I think of past, I've been looking maybe 19 upwards. But now I listened to an album I would religiously listen to when I was in class, 2011. The Justin Bieber era. I was such a Justin Bieber fan, like so huge that I used to play his CD. I had his CD with his album and I'd play over and over and over and over. So the song, even the lineup, I knew. And I just played like, because that song has been trending on TikTok for Justin Bieber that used to be really old. And I just listened to that album and I said, wow. I cried in the Uber. I was saying, this have become a crier. In the Uber, I just cried because I just unlocked so many memories. Like, what was I doing at class 5? The things I used to do when I was listening to this song. Remembering we used to do the CDs thing.
Yeah, music is very nostalgic.
Remembering how I used to be as a kid. And I just said, I need to like now really reflect on my childhood. Because they say that's when a lot of things are happening without you knowing.
And they're sort of stored in your subconscious. So you need something to trigger it. Yeah.
So I'm very happy to just go back memory lane. I've been thinking of going back to therapy, but
I was just about to ask you that actually.
Yeah. I think I stopped because me and my therapist had really, our times were not aligning. She got a new job. So it was maybe, she's not able to meet in person, or, we'd say Monday, but Mondays don't work for me. So I have to like shift. So that in the midst of all that, I just like stopped talking to her and then I kind of just let it go. But that was months ago, but I feel like life was, but I saw this this TikTok that said, you've really hit rock bottom or you're about to come out of it and you start appreciating, nature more, let me go outside, going back to the gym. Yeah. That's how you feel like, okay, now life needs to go back to when you start appreciating the little. And it's so true because I feel like I said, life has been moving so fast this year, fast. Before you know it, you're like not in a good mental state, and then you have to pick yourself back up. And I just feel like that's like life. It's a continuous process of you have it together, and then maybe 1 week you're like, okay, no, we'll do it next week, and then it just piles up anyway. Yeah. So I think that summarizes my nostalgia and conclusion and what I'm gonna talk about this episode. But
I think you've already given us some tea on some of the things we're gonna talk about. But anyway, as Alexia said, the year has moved in a rather crazy way. But I mean, there's nothing we can do to stop time. So we just gotta move with it. And today we're just gonna reflect on how the first half of the year has been and what we're looking forward to in the second half of the year.
Mm-hmm. You can start for us.
I hate starting, but anyway, I think for me, as you said, the first half of the year was good. It was a lot. I think when I started the year, I really didn't want to put pressure on myself for the first half of the year. Mm-hmm. I just really narrowed down to what are my priorities for this 6 months. One of them was to finish school, and the other one was to grow my Instagram so that I can make content creation a sustainable source of income. 2 goals that were very direct, and if anything else, the third one, how can I forget, was for spiritual and wellness. Just to feel spiritually whole and healthy, and to just put more, like to make my wellness routine more compact, or let it make sense, like actually take care of myself, take care of my mind, take care of my body and all that. So once I put it as those are my 3 goals, everything else was sort of like an add-on to that. But even if things weren't working out for me, I was like, okay, is my progress in school good? Sawa. Is Instagram looking goodish? Sawa. Is my spiritual and wellness journey, it has been ups and downs, but that's now I'd be like, okay, I need to put more effort into this. So I think let's even just start with my spiritual journey. One thing I really wanted to do is find a home church. Guys, me after COVID, I became me and the TV. Yeah. And even that wasn't consistent. And then I hated the thing of treating Sunday like just an ordinary day. I just like, I've grown up in the church, and I know the importance of actually just being spiritually fed, even if it's, and not that I do it on one day of the week. I do make sure I'm praying daily and all that, but I know the discipline that comes with physically going to church, the communion of people, like just the community, having community around you, and the discipline. So I'm happy I got a home church. I think that was one of the things that I was really looking forward to, and I feel a bit settled. I look forward to Sundays, just knowing, okay, I'm going to leave the house, I'm going to go for 2 hours, come back, feel refreshed, rejuvenated, etc. etc. Yeah, so for me that it was a huge shift. Let me tell you guys, COVID, we see the effects pole like
Sure.
you think, okay, yeah, but see, there's still COVID. That's
Life
not going
really
to church.
changed.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, COVID has been maintained for about 2 years now, so you sort of have to because we made it look like the new normal, but some habits that we picked up are not the best. Because I even saw was it a news article or something that was shared on Instagram of how human beings are going to look in the near future, because of now being at home a lot, or working from home. And even in the office, you can tend to move around quite a bit. But at home, the square foot to the kitchen, the kitchen is just here behind. It's so short, so you're back to sitting, you're back to the couch and all this. And you find maybe in a few years to come now, people will have back problems. That's how the world is anyway. You pick up things. So you can say, okay, this is the new normal of working from home, working from the bed, from the nini. But you need to have a routine that's sort of, okay, every 30 minutes in your day, you're going for a walk. You're going to the gym. You're moving your body.
Easier said than done, I tell you.
Yeah.
Because my mom was telling me, I don't know, my sister the other day, I think she said something about taking a walk every day or running every day. And she was just like, what for? What are you? You've never, your whole life, you've never done it. You want to start doing it today. And I just thought that was very interesting. That was very...
She's like, stop the crap. Yeah, so for me, it's just, small things like that. For school, in case you don't know, I was doing professional papers in marketing. So it's something that's very self-paced. So you can decide, I'm doing it for 5 years, But for me, I really needed to put when you set smart goals, and you have to put a time to your goal so that it's not just doing its own thing. So for me, the goal was to finish this year. And by the time you're watching this, I've already submitted my last papers. And I think that was my biggest priority this year, because that's why I was like, okay, even in terms of work, I don't want too much on my plate that I can't focus on this thing. I'm like, once it's out of the way, then now I can expand myself to do different other things. So I'll have more time and more mental space to focus on other things. Oof. Can I take a break? Then we go to you. Then we come back.
It feels like you're just summarizing everything in
the batches.
Yes, in the batches, but we are running to we have time.
Okay, no, but you can just go. As I even want to have some more time.
I wanted to ask you how was it, doing school and then finishing and then also just trying to do the things you wanted to do, just get into your school journey a bit more.
Yeah, so it's been interesting because also I started this program during COVID. So all my life I have known face-to-face class, and I'm those people who love face-to-face. I want to see what you are saying. I see with my eyes. I feel more comfortable. I get a connection with teachers through just being present. So it was very hard during COVID, where it was such a transition, because even I remember most of my classmates at that point were married, had kids, and now they have to be in the house. Your work has moved home. The kids are there. They're also, you have to help them with e-learning. Your husband, who you've never worked with, or your wife, you've never been in the same place. You're just annoying each other. There's COVID that's happening. There's the economy. Some businesses we know did struggle during COVID.
100%.
People are sick. People are scared. So there was so much happening at that time. And I think we didn't realize, because most of that class we deferred. Hey,
really?
We really deferred. Really? Guys were not in that space until 2021. Even in 2021, guys were not yet
still in
that space, and then I think guys now started slowly going back to work. So 2021, let's say towards the second half of the year, there was a better mindset for people. And I think that time in 2021, I was working full-time and studying. So again, that was also a huge transition for me. First, it's my first formal employment. 9 to 5, I was like, okay, this is a lot. And then I'm still trying to have school in the evening. So it was a bit rough. And I think that's why for me in 2022, when I resigned, I made it my goal this next 1.5 years. I'm just focusing on school, so that now it's not a thing that's just moving on with me. And we all know sometimes when you grow in your profession, you forget about school. You're like, it's fine, the money is coming. your time is nini, maybe responsibilities are growing and you just genuinely don't have the time. Yeah, so that's, I think for me, it was just a main focus, and it's been a good journey. I think even I've been in a better mental state, honestly, as even an academic. Nimeshika vitu sasa. I feel like even just, it was just very refreshing. It was making sense. Let's just put it that way. And I had time to
focus on. No, I think that's good, because people really do struggle, like you said, in adulthood to keep going your career and then going back to school. I think that's one of the biggest decisions you can ever make, because it's gonna mean a lot of sacrifices are involved. But yeah, you've done it, and I feel like this podcast is also just a journey in itself, because we used to record in your office in your 8 to 5 all the time. We used
from home. No, we used to record at home at our places.
Exchange.
Yes, and then we moved to office,
and then next week my place, and then like that.
Yes, it's just the transitions.
And oh God, then now it's been a journey. Now we are all over the place, but we are still having episodes come up. So I love that. But
3 years, guys.
3 years, and I saw a podcast. I've forgotten, things you know about your 20s or something like that. Where she did a recap on what I know now about after, or she recently has done an episode about how it's been being podcasting for 2 years or something like that, and I thought that was really interesting. I want to listen to that, and maybe we can do an episode on that
as well.
In case for anyone because I remember back, I think a year, 2 years ago, we were thinking of doing something along the lines of
just helping guys
figure things out in the podcast space. So maybe we can do an episode like that. But yeah, I think I can take up. I don't know. I didn't necessarily categorize my year.
Because but that's interesting also, because I know there are people who function like me, and then
but I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve. Like, it wasn't something that even if I write down was gonna change things. Maybe I did, because at the end of the year I did write some bit of manifestations, or even sometimes I do when I just kind of put the paper away. I feel like it's a manifestation strategy, because on that list I think I've accomplished like 4 things that I wrote. And that was like really crazy, because I saw that on a TikTok and at that time. And then I wrote it, and then I just threw away the paper, and I completely forgot what I did. Yeah. And then like just the other day I was looking through it, and I was like, wow, I did this. Anyway, I think my biggest, when I finished last year, I was the happiest I had ever been. I don't want to say in a long time. I want to say maybe arguably even my whole life. Because it was so many good things happening to me. Like my birthday, September, was fantastic. October was fantastic because it was my graduation. And then immediately after graduation, I traveled to Zanzibar. Then job was it wasn't as stressful anymore, because as you finish end of year, like things become a bit more lax. I traveled a lot more. I went to Kisumu, then I went to Kilifi. I just felt like I was in a traveling season. I was in a happy season. I was very much embracing my singlehood. Like, I was going on dates. I was like, I was living. Like, I was living a really good life, honey. Like, I really, really thoroughly enjoyed the last half of last year. And I felt it was the best mental space as well, because I knew this year when it's starting, I really need to start with a bang, because like I feel energized, I feel nourished, I feel like Beneath the Bubbles was a life-changing experience. I don't know how to explain it, it just was. And so this year I really started with so much high hopes, but I feel like I had a very slow start to the year. Like, it took me so long to pick back from the good vibes and just chilling to like work mode, even though I knew there are things I needed to achieve. I think around end of Feb, March is when I was like, okay, no, girl, we need to get shit moving. Like, so I really struggled to settle into this year.
Even for the
first 3 months. Even the podcast was down. I was not posting content on Instagram either, for someone who's been trying to be a content creator. But yeah, work was just also not work. I don't know. I just lost a lot of touch. But at the same time, it was the beginning of, my car situationship at that time. So I think I was also maybe lost in the bubble of, meeting someone and cute. But yeah, I was really struggling to pick things up. But the biggest thing I knew from last year, even before September was that I needed to start my podcast, my personal one. I think that's also something I'd even told you, maybe even 2 years before then.
I think it was 2021.
So I knew I needed to start this podcast. Like even before the year ended, I had like the pitch to my workmates and they already got their opinions. Like I needed to start it. So that's what I really, really set my mind to do this year. And I'm so happy. Like the process just went. It went. I was reading my diary the other day on when I was pre-recording the episodes before the launch, and just like I literally tears because it's just 4 episodes in. I'm nervous how it will be received, but I'm happy that I'm finally doing this. The process, just like reliving the emotions that I was feeling about the podcast in general, and like I'm so happy that that's the one thing that I really wanted to achieve, and I did. But like now starting it is another thing in itself, and now maintaining it and going forward is another challenge in itself. But just the fact that I started it and now I'm like getting even broader ideas on how to expand it and like treat it as the business that I think it is. Like it didn't start as a joke. I always looked at it big, but now executing it. And now the scope of calling it, possibilities, and me intentionally calling it My Tech Story Africa, because that's what I wanted it to be and I want it to be, and like now really pushing for that narrative. Yeah. I'm very excited, nervous, scared, but really happy that I'm actually doing it, because there's no backing that now because I've already started it. So now it's just go. And if I don't do it good, someone else is going to do it better than me, someone who has more money. So I need to just fucking do it.
More money, but just more,
to
give up, so you can't give
exactly.
up. Yeah.
So, and I think that's really, through this process, it's really called me out as well, because one thing in general that I've always struggled with, like in general, just genuinely, I struggle with consistency or just discipline to like just say I'm gonna do this and this is the routine and stick by it. I'll stick by it maybe 1-2 months and then I'm kind of back to. It's something I've done my whole life, but now I'm really, really feeling the effect, because again, sometimes I get overwhelmed and then I end up doing nothing. Like that's, my mind translates overwhelming with doing nothing. I don't know when it started. Yeah. It started from high school. Like I used to feel I have so much homework. You know what?
Let's watch TV.
You know what? We ain't gonna do this right now.
Never have I.
And for some reason, it always has still worked out, like still figured its way out. But I think it's not healthy because I keep saying like, maybe it's gonna, but maybe, as an adult, like these things start to cost you eventually. I feel like it's costing me because now it's I feel like it's a different journey in itself, but it's calling me out because I can't be inconsistent in everything. Inconsistent in maybe, let's say, B.O.B., inconsistent at work, inconsistent at My Tech Story. It says a lot about just me, and everything in my life in future is always going to be a problem if I don't fix this problem that I have now. You need some level of consistency for things to work out. And I feel like I just really lack that, and I need to figure something out towards that effect. But anyway, other than that, I'm really happy that's something that I achieved. That's first half of the year. Another thing that,
And that was a huge.
Yay. Yeah. And then another thing, like, big, I think, where do I even begin there? Because you said two things. A second thing that changed for me this year, or as a big impact for this first half, is that my body has changed. I know what you wanted me to say, Alexia.
Cool there.
My body has changed a lot, guys. I'm a fatty. Relatively, I'm the biggest I've ever been. And I have been not so body positive. I've really been very negative about how I look. It's been taking me a lot. I think now is when, this month actually is when I'm just like, okay, we've settled. It's not going like it's not. It's 6 months in. Like shit. Like it wasn't. It started in October. Because when I went to Zanzibar, my body was like. But it was September, happy season, Bana. I told you guys I was very happy. Then January, I said we need to make a change. But I think February, March, I started, becoming something. my outfits were not fitting. My outfits are not fitting. I felt
Clothes
like my
will
face
humble you.
was nini. I went to the gym. I went to the wing skill. I almost fainted. I tried to do a bit of intermittent fasting, but the problem is I would starve myself during the day and then at night I'm overeating. I also got into a relationship and that person knows how to cook very, very well. And our love language is eating a lot. And so, culmination of all of this, I've just not been really happy about my body changes, and I just feel like I've been the biggest I've ever been. I'm the biggest in my family as well. My family is a family of very skinny people. My mother does not fail to mention, because the other day she told me, I see you're going to the gym and you're I'm seeing you've even added weight. Hey, you know. So I know.
Not everything you think you have to say.
It's stressing me too. But I think I need to learn how to love my body as it is now. I don't think I've become humongous or like I'm it's just it's just a change. I think now it's when I think even my body was just adapting to the change because I was not happy. But I think now I'm like I'm still the weight that I was. I mean, I have been, that has made me uncomfortable. I think the weight has settled in. I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes sense. Exactly. So
it has chosen good places.
Yeah, period. And if I'm depressed about my body, like, it just makes everybody around me miserable, including me, and it doesn't help anybody. Yeah. And here we've done like more than 2 episodes on body positivity, so I've just needed to really pick myself up from that rut and just embrace it, because let me tell you, when you're confident in your body, you become even sexier. So
sure,
because you kill a sound my stomach, or I can't wear these. You're just very conscious. And at the beginning of the year, I started well, relatively, because even though I was doing less, I was doing a lot, because I dress up, wear heels to do absolutely nothing, just from the gym, go to Art Cafe, Westgate, every once a week, twice even, work from there, look cute. Like, I was in my hot girl era, honey. I would just dress up and do absolutely nothing, and I would love walking in a room and I know people are looking at me because I'm commanding the room with my presence.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the lines, I just lost that. I was walking and I'm like, okay, do I look okay? Am I overdressed? And I even tweeted at that era, I even tweeted like, my mission is to look good every day, because why not? I'd love walking in heels, and I know like I'm a bad bitch. So I need to get that energy back. I need to get my mojo back. But yeah, that happened. My body changed.
I like that you mentioned that, because I think for me, one of the things that I'm hoping to do in the second half of the year is carve out my style. Like, I feel like I'm still in that, not that I think I dress badly, but I'm like, okay, now I'm a grown-ass girl. No, I'm a grown-up. No, let me stop cussing.
Grown-ass girl.
No, I'm like, I didn't need to say. Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Okay,
yeah,
whatever.
So, but I'm like, I want to feel, and clothes, of course, kindani, I know my worth, but clothes really the presents and perfumes and shoes and bags. People have different things for them. Maybe their nails, their makeup, and all this. So I'm like, okay. Actually, someone reached out to me who's a stylist. Hey, I'm like, oh, okay, want to work with me? Nice. So at least she's made my work slightly easier. But I'm like, yeah, why not? Let me see what I actually enjoy. I'm not a heels person, so I won't force it on myself. Of course, some events maybe I'll wear heels, but even if it's sneakers or it's flats, how my sandals, how am I styling them, and just get rid of the junk in my closet, guys. I can't stand my closet, and every 6 months I'm decluttering, and it still does not feel like it's
working. Feeling the same thing. My wardrobe is so full, but what are the clothes that are there? I'm not satisfied. I'm still on Instagram looking for stuff,
for more and more and more. So I'm like, okay, if this is what I like, let me buy in different colors. I think it's so much easier, honestly, and also just curating my wardrobe in a way that, in fact, I want to order like new shelves, new dini, because I'm like, I need some order in here. This is not helping me. I go and I feel tired.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So, yeah, cheers to us kind of revamp Vava Voming.
I wanted to ask you, have you read Atomic Habits?
I've not read it,
I
but
think you need
it's
to
on
read
everyone's
it.
bucket list. Oh, but I know the philosophy that it holds, which is like it's your small how to build habits and habits making the bigger impact in your life. And I think that's also something that I preach every day. You know, sometimes when you have a podcast, just listen back.
You talk a lot, but practice.
Practice. Hey, that's why when you repeat content here, it's not because it's because you forget.
Yeah.
The inspiration that you have today is not the same one you'll have in 3 months, and so you have to keep reminding yourself constantly to like. That's why I'm saying today you're in a good mental state, and then before you know it, like things are moving, and then you don't even realize it's going down, and then you realize, fuck, this is rock bottom. Okay, we need to pick back up. And I think that's the process I've been on in different aspects of life.
I agree with you, and I feel like I know Atomic Habits had this huge. Everyone's talking about it. I feel like I had a very specific time in mind when I knew I wanted to read that book. And that is as we transition into the second half of the year. Because I know there's a science of picking up habits. Even you say, I'm not consistent, I'm not disciplined. Maybe you're setting the wrong goals.
I need to do...
Or how you're doing it. Because sometimes, you start with a big goal. I'm going to the gym 5 times a week. And you've never done anything like that. Life, so even your body's like... what's happening?
It's true.
So there's actually a way that you ease into things. There's actually a way that, and I know he talks about habit stacking, where you something that you're already doing or something that you need to do, you pair it now with a habit that you're trying to form.
It's true. No, that's the same thing. Like when my therapist used to tell me, it's like, okay, you created these goals, but they're so out of touch with what you normally are. So like start with your routine that you have now and how you just please sprinkle now the things you want to add into your life. And that season of my life was great, honey. Like routine makes you so happy. Like
it does.
When you wake up early in the morning and you do things you actually wanted to do, how good it feels. Because I needed to do things. A lot of things. Like for someone... I talk a lot, and I feel like I've been told before that I'm an inspiration to people, but the life I lived, ground,
it's messy, but it happens.
Messy, and things just somehow figure themselves. But I need to be the person that I preach myself to be out there.
And as I said, it's not even about what people think about you. It doesn't make you feel good.
It doesn't make you feel good. At the end of the day, you're like, okay, I've achieved all of this. I've managed to shoot the podcast, but you feel tired. You feel like, okay, I don't even have time to just chill and do something without feeling guilty. And when you're tired, when you're not doing anything and you're tired, but you're just feeling guilty the whole day, it's not fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes I just find it really difficult to get myself to do things. But anyway, we're getting too into this. What was your next point?
My next point is in relation just to yours. I think in terms of wellness and fitness. Here. Yeah, relationship weight. Mine has been stacking for 2 years now. And funny thing, the partners are always fit. So, I don't know. I'm looking, in fact, they are looking healthier. I'm just Nico too. Anyway, so for me, again, I've never been a gym person. I've never been an exercise person. I always said I'll only exercise. Most of my friends even know once I give birth, because that is when I know how my body... And I've pushed my body to the limits.
Yeah.
I know how crazy things can look. So that's when I'll work out. Yeah, but I think even I hate feeling uncomfortable with how I look. Like, or thinking, you can't impose for... And I'm not saying, like, fupas are natural, but there's one that looks a bit abnormal. No, guy, I'm not... sorry, guys.
Me, when I
eat
badly 3 days consistently. That 4th day, I will look...
Yeah, there's an unhealthy... Let me even just say unhealthy, because it's not healthy, or it's attributed through maybe drinking a lot of alcohol, eating badly, all that and all that. So I think for me, my first half of the year, I was just like, okay, familiarize yourself with movement every day. Just... not every day, but like 4 times a week. Just try get yourself to be doing things. I do a lot of Karura walks, which I think I did more of them last year. But walking. In terms of, I did go to the gym a couple of times. And then, as I told you guys, maybe the second half of the year, Alice used to laugh at me and I say, next year, like my whole life is going to change. But now I know for real, I've put the foundation, So now when I stack it up and take it a notch higher, it's not coming out of nowhere, you see. And I wasn't looking to lose weight in the first half of the year. I was looking to be like, okay, I can actually fast for 16 hours. Me, I used to wake up at 7 and eat breakfast. Like, I'm very serious eating food, a meal, you know. So I was like, okay, let me try this intermittent fasting. I used to think it's crazy. Like, how don't you wake up and eat, you know? And I'd figure like noon, and I'm like, oh, it's something that people can do.
Even me, like, morning meals are things that I tend to forget.
Yeah, that's natural to you. You're always like, I'm like, me that time I've eaten the first thing. Like, food became even sort of like, I can't, once you're awake and conscious, you need to look for food. You see? So even my relationship with food changed, because I'm like, it's there, it's not going anywhere. My body has fat stores that it can use. It's not desperate. The stomach, there's fat. It can eat. It can give itself energy, you know, and let me eat and let me reduce the amount of time that I'm eating so I don't overeat. So sometimes even you're full, you're tired, you're bored, you're watching a movie, it's 11, snacks. You're snacking. And that you won't eat a salad at 11. Yeah.
Those wee hours, they are the worst ones food-wise.
Yeah, and behavior.
Just I don't know what our minds do. I don't know what our minds do when it clocks, 10 p.m.
You are asleep. I can't do bad things. No one can see me.
Because those are the devil's hours. Those are the days I've fasted so nicely. I've eaten good portions during the day. 12 p.m. EAT. It catches me, I get hungry. Disaster. Anyway.
So I think for me, in terms of wellness, it was just to change my mindset. As I said, as a person who felt exercising is for what, you know, and apart from even just the losing weight or becoming more fit, it's just like committing to something and doing it, you know, the discipline aspect of it, the aspect of showing up for hard things. A person who prefers working out in the morning because it's my first win of the day. And that's the mindset that I'm going into the day with. Of course, people are different if you prefer evening and whatnot. So yeah, I feel like that was my main goal in terms of fitness and wellness. And also
So now this second effort, you're doing what?
Less talking, more doing. If
you are first seeing what is working for you.
Follow me online. Follow me right now. Fitness influencer incoming.
I'm rooting for you. Amen. All the best.
Join me, please.
I'm back in the gym. I'm there.
She's always back.
Posted. I was just very sick the last 2 weeks.
By the way,
I was actually very, very sick. I was actually. You're lucky I'm not coughing. You'd all be sick because
guys, actually why we took a long break. You know those like COVID rumors, we don't know.
Maybe I had it because people around me also got sick. So anyway, that is why I took a break. But I was there, you know. But me, I'm always on and off. But not for real, because I know the impact that thing has in my life. I just need to be there even 30 minutes. My whole day has shifted. My mindset just clicks. I don't know what it is about the gym, but it just does something to me, and it needs to be part of my routine, point blank, period. And I think, like you said, for you it's movement, just something exercise worthy, whether it's moving around, whether it's walking, just does something for you. And ile ya kujitolea, ile ya kutembea kutoka BS hadi Odeon alafu unasema umetembea kila siku, because that one is an irritating walk. I used to feel so frustrated doing that walk.
Remember how the episode I used to say all the time, I almost died. Like, the matatu almost
walking in town is a mental health deteriorator in my opinion. Every day. Oh my god.
And then I was robbed to make matters worse. Even you were robbed. Stage. She was confused. She was done for those.
They did for me those magic things that wakanibia sijui 1,000. I said, here I have a camera in my bag, Niko bus station. I need to run. So yeah, I'm there meeting Alexia. Maybe
we had a shoot in Machakos County.
We had a shoot in Machakos.
And you left the battery at home.
That was episode 1 of B.O.B.
No, it was
trailer.
The
promo, whatever it was. Anyway, why did we have to go all the way to Machakos to that trailer? We didn't have money and we needed space and lighting. And you said your house was available. Yeah. And at that time, your house was something. So...
It was far. It was my mom's house, actually.
It was your mom's house.
Anyway,
yeah, we come from far. Another big thing that happened to me the first half of the year was my career completely took a different direction. You had to see the other first half, only 3 months, 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, but still first half of the year. I don't want to say completely different, but it was quite a shift from having to constantly worry about numbers, which has never been my forte. But I still don't think I was bad at that job. Let me just say it now, because those are in-house things, but just know, I really don't think I was bad at that job. I just think that's naturally, as you're learning to do something, you just get better with time in general. Sure. So I feel I may have been robbed off the opportunity a bit too soon, as I was still navigating. Understandably so, because as you know, naturally as the person who this is my job,
it's business.
I'm looking for someone who is there to execute, but also then naturally, when you grow with someone in a company, they end up performing better. Anyway, there's a whole just internal dynamics. But long story short, my job role shifted from being someone who handles a lot more acquisition to handling a lot more PR and communications, which, if you think about just who Alice is just naturally who I am. Yeah. And I've settled so well I feel like I settled so well into that role. But at that time, my
it was your identity.
It was, I felt it was a time that I felt like I was losing my job. It was a time I was feeling like, acquisition is the epitome of marketing. Who I am, who am I now? Am I not good at being a marketer? Am I just like a PR person? We always, in school, we always constantly being fed about how there's a difference between PR and marketing, and PR are underlooked, and marketing is what, of course, focuses a lot on numbers, and that's what, is what matters. But honestly, I feel the PR is what drives the marketing. Facts. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, but look at the scandals we're having right now. They're PR scandals. Their marketing is good.
It's what drives. So even, scheduling interviews or having meetings with people from companies you've always wanted to work with, or it's very much also in line with I've talked about this in the previous episodes, so just go listen. It's more in line with also who I'm trying to grow in the tech industry, because I have a tech podcast now, and scaling a tech startup is it all just makes sense. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the people I'm getting to work with. I'm loving the meetups. I'm really, really it feels more natural than how I was struggling to do acquisition. Although I feel like the experience has made me an all-rounded marketer. I know exactly what to do in every single occupation that you do in marketing. Or maybe not all of them, but a good chunk. I have a very good chunk. And that's what I like about working in startups, is that this is your job, but you are doing everything. And so by the time I shift jobs, or if I ever decide to,
and you have a bigger team and you have different people doing different things.
Exactly. I know exactly what I need to do. And even just in my personal growth, because again, even in my personal things, we'd have B.O.B, I have MTS. Everything is still just around communications and marketing. So I feel everything just worked out for the way it's supposed to work out, even though it didn't feel that way at that time. But yeah, that was a big recap of my first half as well.
No, for sure. I know you are very worried, and you're like, oh my God, am I redundant? Is my role not existing anymore?
I just felt like I was going to be redundant.
Yeah, and I love employers who also, even if they are moving you into something else, they're not just throwing you away. They know the end. And I think sometimes people can see you from a different lens.
Yeah.
And can see your strengths from a different lens. That sometimes you're too focused on this one thing. As you said, it was a bit harder than, which is still good anyway. It was a challenge for you.
It was a challenge.
Ulifika.
Now your challenge to Tarudi too anyway.
Exactly. But now maybe you need to go through first this, then find your way back into it. Yeah. So
100%.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I think my last point would also be in terms of career, because I did mention content creation as one of my top things for this year. So I've been becoming a content creator since 2018. For real, guys, like facts. Since 2018, and I just realized, you know what? Time is passing. People are being born every day. I'll be competing soon with children. Things are moving. If you decide to move, well and good. If you don't, well and good. So I think I even surpassed my goal for the year in terms of following, which I wouldn't even attribute it to myself. It's
It is life pushing you to just
Instagram algorithm passed through me and just did its thing, and I was like, okay, that's a wake-up call, because I did get now to partner with brands that are like a big brands, So I was like, they're probably thinking about my following, they're like, wow, okay, let's work with her and stuff like that. So the first half of the year was amazing. I've got to work with amazing brands. Like, okay, why does it feel like I've worked with so many brands? Actually, 2.
No, but they are like amazing brands.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like, okay, I feel like time. Yeah, so I've worked with Google, I've worked with M-Pesa app, and under BOB we're still working with Tusker.
Yeah.
So for me, one that was very affirming. It made me feel like, okay, the work is there. I just need to position myself in a way that I'm findable and I'm trustable. Of course, in terms of building an audience, for me, it's not about followers. Do my audience feel safe with me? Can we engage? Can we create a community? Can I create a community of people who will trust me? Because I do feel that with some other influencers. And for me, I think, okay, the first step was growing the numbers. I've done it. But I think my goal for the second half of the year is to grow my community online and let people feel like, okay, they can relate to me. I check in with them every so often. I don't I see when people post just because they have brand partnerships and it doesn't look good.
Because you're constantly just posting about brands.
There's this YouTuber who I love. I do. But someone told her, you just come here every 3 months to advertise Skillshare. And it's so true. Like, she doesn't post. I think I'm not saying names, but I love her. And I can see right now her career trajectory has moved from YouTube. And I'm like, it's fine. You don't necessarily have to hold on to something if you feel like you want to move in a certain direction. Murugi Muni was a YouTuber for a while and she had amazing videos. And she just stopped YouTube. And she told people, I'm here. Whatever I've shown you on YouTube, I'm showing you guys here. We are engaging. We are having so much fun. And she didn't come every 6 months to sell us something on YouTube. She said, this is my platform. This is where I'm doing my partnerships. This is where we're engaging. And also as a creator, I feel like sometimes when money starts coming in, you tend to lose yourself. If you don't have a foundation, you lose yourself. And you'll end up now just becoming a walking billboard.
It's true.
So for me, it's like
billboard.
In fact, I had said I don't even want a paid partnership job for this next month, or rather with this month that has passed, which was June, because I just want to sort of now start again, and just make sure I have the good foundation so that even when paid work is coming, I'm confident in what I bring to the table. I can negotiate higher rates and everyone is happy. My followers are happy. My clients are happy and I'm happy. Yeah.
Amen to that.
In case you don't follow me on Instagram, the handle is it's Miss Musau. So do follow me. Let's engage. If you'd like to work with me as well, I'm very open to partnerships. Email is it's missmusau@gmail.com.
Period.
Yes. Legio.
No, yeah, I know. I like that. I know at the beginning of the year, you really said you want to take content creation seriously. And I think life really has pushed you to genuinely take it seriously. And so don't let this opportunity pass you. I think you really just need to take it, hard on and just really push for it, because the life is hard, Buana. You need to do something, and that's also what you've studied, things to do with communications and marketing. So you are well within where you need to be. I think so.
And also I think finding a voice that's unique to you. I think most people feel discouraged, even me, guys. Every time I see content that's amazing, you can sort of darao yourself or sort of feel like, okay, maybe I should not pursue this thing. Maybe I should just get into an office job and not have to compete with the number of beautiful, amazing women out there who are creating content. But I think everyone is unique to themselves. Because even I think about it, the content that I consume from content creators, they are so different. I can't say so and so are the same, but I know from this one, Nita Cheka, and her content is just funny, and it's, there's a vibe she gives me, and there's this guy and there's a vibe he gives me. So not two people are the same, and just being comfortable in who I am and in my and whoever wants to work with me will just be drawn to me.
I think finding your voice in content creation is normally the hardest thing to do, honestly. But when you decide to do it, you just have to do it, and you find it while practicing doing what you're doing. So I think the I'm going to say two other things, which is one thing I'm happy that happened the first half of the year, podcast-wise, was we started, we've been doing collaborations, Banter Brunch, and we really set to do that. We expanded our team.
Gosh, I'm not
really
about
happy
the
about that. But yeah, I really wanted to bring up collaborations because we've been preaching this since we started this podcast, but it's been very difficult for us because we're very limited on very many things in terms of whether it would be equipment or space. Like, it was very difficult for us to even get here, in general. But I'm really happy things are moving, and this has been, I think we had really set it to be a year for us to really just make changes and go for it. And I think we have been trying our best to move that direction. And yeah, very happy that that's happened the first half of the year. Another thing that I'll say I set to do that I have failed tremendously, and I still have for very many years, was taking content creation seriously. I just lack the consistency for it. And I think I know exactly what type of content I want. If you see me outside, I'm always taking, my phone is full.
Facts. Even there's some things you had to post. I saw them the other day.
I have so much every single day. I kid you not, my whole life is content. Like, even my corporate job, my MTS, Banter for Brunch, my whole life is content. So for me not to post the content that every day I film is actually insane. I just procrastinated. Before you know it, it's 3 months I've not posted Masai Mara. Before I know it, it's a year I've not posted Zanzibar.
Then you're getting more overwhelmed because you're like, now I have
where do
Zanzibar,
I start? And then I say, okay, now I have to start afresh, surely, because life has moved on. But even that fresh, that I just have content overload that I never post, and I don't know what it is, but yeah, something needs to fix up.
I think it's systems. You don't have any system. So once you've recorded, there's no system on how that Nini moves to now where we can see it, and I know we have a friend who will shoot, edit, and post when we're seated together.
We are drinking, we are having fun.
She has already created the TikTok, the reel, she has posted it.
It's true.
You are just
so true. I need some systems, because if all else fails, right now I'm just, because I have a job that, every month. But if all else fails, like, what's my plan B? Especially that period where I felt like I was losing my job, I was panicking because my plan B, I'm always just chilling on my plan B, thinking life will, So that was a big wake up call for me. But yeah, I need to do something.
With the systems. Because I feel you also. So, of course, I was very lenient with myself, guys, as I've said it for the first year. But I've been trying to see, okay, moving forward, what are the systems? Even I think for me, I said, okay, I'm calling myself a full-time content creator so that I take it seriously. It's not a side thing. I'm like, it's Monday morning. I'm having a meeting, even if I don't have a team yet. I'm having a meeting with myself. Yeah. What's the plan for the day? When is my shooting day? Let me batch shoot if that works for me. What's this thing? Yeah. Edit and schedule. And it takes the load off of even, I think once the systems are in place, then things, even if you travel, say, what's the buffer? 2 weeks, this content has to be out. Even right now, I was just here recording. And I feel like these platforms have made it so easy for us, because I had footage. I was like, okay, let me go. I found a template. I put the DNDs and it's ready to be posted, really, and not overthinking things, because it's just the consistency. You need to churn out content. Yeah,
it's so true. Something needs to happen, honey, because clearly right now, honestly, I'll tell you now, right now I'm in a very weird place in my life. Like, I'm starting to appreciate nature more. I'm starting to go back to the gym. You know what that means, ladies and gents? It means that we hit rock bottom and now we're on our way back up. So I need to do something. First half of the year, I'll rate it a solid 6 out of 10. 5 arguably, but when I start getting a bit September-y, I don't know, something happens in me. So I am big on birthday.
Yes.
Me birthday. I don't know how people just say, okay, I'm not like whatever. I don't know what I'm big. Me, I know I didn't know.
What are you doing? Tell us, Ali. Mambo ni mengi.
I want to travel, but at the same time, like, I don't know, but I'm just starting to tell people.
What? What are you telling us?
Because last year I sent a wish list. I know, but I'm normally the worst person when it comes to people's birthdays, and I hate it because I have such high expectations on my birthday. So now the people have not done to things, I'm starting to go back. I didn't gift you. Okay, there was something there.
This second half
because
it's expensive.
I am big, but also one thing, I have 2 goals that I have to accomplish the next half of the year. 1, I need to go to another African country.
Awesome. To
continue with my MTS Africa journey. And 2, I want to have a billboard.
Ish.
Yeah. So
I have a contact for billboard.
I know how much they cost, but I'm hoping
it's not too bad actually. Yeah.
It's not too bad.
No.
Your contact
okay, maybe Festa Congo is different. How I view. Yeah, but I think if you plan and maybe have now, as you said, a sponsor or something, or a partner, you can cost share or something.
So stay tuned. But yeah, that's a recap / what we anticipate for the next year. We did more of a recap than anticipation, but you take what you can get, okay?
Yeah. I'm just anticipating just now, really putting my mind to things, because I know December will have fun. I want December to come in and be like, yes. You did it, girl. You did it. That was a good year. You put in the work. I was gonna say I don't like free things, but do you know what I mean? It's reward is also very fulfilling.
It's true.
In some type of way.
It's true.
Yes, I'm just looking forward to making more money, being more healthy by God's grace. Even in terms of relationships, friendships, family. It's something that we often forget sometimes, to pour into, and there are people who are very important to us. I mean, if you don't have support, then really you can't make it. So just sticking with people who we can love on each other together, and yeah. I guess that's it.
I think that's it for me as well.
And for the podcast live show. I'm really looking forward.
That is coming. Live. Come rain, come sunshine. We're having a live show, a brunch, a something. So stay tuned. It's time. 3 years without meeting our fans. Come on.
So now to a club. Because you're making money for other people.
Surely. Yeah.
Anyway, sponsors. I know some of you work in places that could sponsor us.
Do the thing, Buana.
Guys, we need, let's work together. If you feel like we can fit in well with your brand, both on Instagram, audio, YouTube. We have packages,
Banter Brunch page,
MTS. We have packages for all of your needs.
To DM. My email and all the links are linked in the description. But if you're not one of those people who can help us in that way, all you need to do is just subscribe and like and share this content. Hata kama ni moja tu out of the 3, you've done something. But it's free. It helps us grow really well. It just does a lot for creators, for you to just support their work in that way. So that's all we're just requesting. Leo si demand. I know the last couple of episodes I've demanded.
Tony may change.
Fadhali. Tusaidie. We are growing YouTube, surely. 1,000 subscribers ni kitu ya kunyima nayo mtu. Seriously. Let's shape up. Be for real. Be for real. Let's
mtaki tukwe na play hapa tukisema 100k subscribers.
Over 25 they did their thing and we are happy. Let's be the under 25. And we did with Kanji.
Oh, guy, I forgot.
Wow, you're just relaxing. Sorry. Hey, tunamaliza sawa. Okay, goodbye.
Enjoy, bye.
I'm saying my name is Alice Kanji.
And I'm Alexia Musau.
And
toodles.
Bye. See you in the next one.